lighting. Right, okay. Start again. You've met your match with this one. Psychic love reading. Okay. So, um, you've met your match with this one. Now, I'm taking this as a good thing, right? The other phrase that I got, don't panic about that, I'll show that in a minute. The other phrase I got is um, when the immovable force, when the irresistible force meets the immovable object. Now, that's normally a term used when it's kind of at loggerheads, but I don't want to go there in this instance. It feels like you've got this perfect blend between rock solid and full power, right? Three of Swords, High Priestess, Strength, Four of Pentacles, right? So it feels like this collective, time and time and time again, they've ended up with daggers in the heart. Now, if you're anything like me, and I've had a lot of relationships that haven't worked out, there's been a couple that, just didn't work. But for the most part, 90% of them, it's been lying, cheating, stuff like that. And it feels like with this collective, they've really taken some swords in the heart. Because of that, there could be a few kind of questions and doubts. You're a human being, that's perfectly fine. Um, but it's about following that intuition because this connection has such great strength. And we call the Four of Pentacles the banker. It's something that you can really invest in. Okay. This connection has limitless potential. And I strongly believe that we're looking at a divine pairing, divine couple here. As I always say, don't be offended, but most people won't have a divine partner. They'll have a one. They can have a one out there if that's part of their soul contract. But most people won't have a divine partner because divine counterpart because they're not from old divine energy. Just bear with me. Right, so it feels like there could be a little bit of stagnation here because we've got the Chariot card in the reverse, Ten of Cups in the reverse, and then the Four of Cups. So what it feels like is if you're because some of you won't have met this person yet, they'll be coming in, and for you guys, you're kind of going, oh, well, I just feel stuck, I feel stagnant. I'm not going to get my Ten of Cups. And what you're being asked to do is lift your head above the current situation and see, because I feel like this person's in your kind of peripheral, but I think you just might be missing them. Um, if you are in a connection, this feels more like stagnation in regard to so in my case, for example, me and Lucy, we don't live together, so it would be like feeling like there's stagnation in regard to actually getting to that point. In which case, it would be saying, right, well, lift your head above the current situation. What can you do to get there? Because there's opportunities there to get there, and again, got strength at the bottom of the deck. There's been a lot of interference along the way, so friends, family, etc. A lot of naysayers. Now, there's a lot of jealousy around this connection here, and as I always say, when you're in a divine connection, there's going to be blocks and barriers. Why? Because that connection, when you two are together, that love, that energy transfer, just by being in each other's energy, in each other's presence, it will trigger people who are in connections where they've just settled, where they've just got with somebody because they want love. You know what I mean? Because seeing you two out and about and just being you, that will radiate. Okay, and don't so any kind of blocks that you might be feeling, it comes from a place of jealousy. Okay, it comes from a place of jealousy. Um, keep the faith that you will get through this next phase. Um, so magician in the reverse, right? So I do feel like there's some blocks on that manifestation that you're aiming for when it comes to this connection, being that you're trying to bring this person in or that you are together with somebody. But fear not, it is going to lead to abundance. Ten of Pentacles, grounded, solid, stable, and Four of Wands. You are going to get your happy ever after with this person. It is going to be abundant. It's what laughing. What I've got is I've got like it looks a bit like the Judgment card, but rather than the kind of winged angel, it's more like a cherub. I can just see like this cherub like playing this horn. Um, this connection is divinely protected. There's nothing that can get in the way apart from yourselves. Okay. Any arguments that you might have, it will never last very long. Okay. It will soon pass. Because you can see each other's truth. You can see each other's potential in one another. I've got quite a few here. Right. So keep holding on. Eight of Cups in the reverse, right? Don't give up that you're not gonna. I don't feel like this is like walking away from this person. I think that would be an impossibility for this collective. But I feel like it's don't give up on kind of getting to where you want to be. Take the blindfold off, see the situation as it really is, and again, Four of Cups in the reverse. See what other options are there so you can bring this in, and then that's another one where this collective's kind of missing some kind of solution, feeling left out in the cold. Five of Pentacles in the stained glass window of the church. Four of Swords in the reverse. Mentally horizontal, take that mental action. 616 on the timer. Right, for too long you've been searching for this, and now that it's here, there's interference, and it's causing frustration. Now the not between the two of you, but the situation at hand. That interference is partly designed to cause the frustration to stop you coming into full union. Okay, and I want to use that phrase, full union. Okay, what you are feeling now is only part of the potential that this connection has. Okay, you're just scratching the surface. The power, love, and glory within this connection is unmatched. Okay, so we've got King of Swords, Death card. Right, so what you're being asked to do is it doesn't matter what your gender is, but get into that King of Swords energy. Take control on a mental level, and also if something needs saying to somebody around you, say it. Right. Either way, if you don't, the death card will be played. Now, I feel like this is in regard to removing interference. Okay, if you're a little bit on the kind of witchy warlock side, it could be in regard to having kind of energetic blocks, black magic, etc., on top of it as well. So Source is going to step in and he's going to one of their afraid to kill off the situation. Right? Okay, yeah, because the Three of Swords has come out now. I'm going to stick to what I said when it came out earlier in regard to this collective carrying some, a lot of crap relationships which cause heartbreak. Just reverting back to that a second. It doesn't always. I want to kind of add a little bit of extra on top of that whilst I'm holding the card. It doesn't always have to be relationship based. So it could be that you've been brought up in a family that didn't really show much love, or you've had friends where you've just always been treated like dirt, etc., etc. So that trust in love, for this collective, and I feel like for both parties is low. It's low because you've never really been able to express it, show it, feel it. With this coming out, and when I was just talking about kind of interference and stuff like that, that's a clarifier because this indicates third party dynamic. Now, when we talk about third party dynamic, specifically in love relationships as well, love reading, sorry, it doesn't always mean another person as in a love interest. It can be a friend, it can be a family member. Interference, that's confirmation me there that there's interference. You're being asked to change your mindset on whoever this person is that's interfering and just get out there because this connection is Two of Cups. My favourite card, Eight of Wands. You've got good times coming. The energy will pick up. Yeah, you need to break away from whoever that Three of Swords is.